Welcome to the Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. And when I was, Alma and I were discussing what we were going to read for our buddy read this month, I went and I pulled all of the World War fiction on my shelves. And as you can imagine, I don't have a lot of it. However, I have a surprising amount of World War II fiction specifically. I didn't include anything on my Kindle, which I know there's more on my Kindle. And I had no specific in my physical inventory books for World War I fiction. Yeah, I was surprised too. So let's talk about what I did have. I have 3 Kate Quinn books for World War II specifically. So I'm going to go in the year they mention on the flap. And the first up would be Diamond Eye. And I'll read you the description. In 1937, in the snowbound city of Kiev, wry and bookish history student Mila Pavlichenko organizes her life around her library job and her young son. But Hitler's invasion of Ukraine and Russia sends her on a different path. Given a rifle and sent to join the fight, Mila must transform herself from studious girl to deadly sniper, a lethal hunter of Nazis known as Lady Death. When news of her 300th kill makes her a national heroine, Mila is torn from the bloody battlefield to the Eastern Front and sent to America on a goodwill tour. Still reeling from war wounds and devastated by loss, Mila finds herself isolated and lonely in the glittering world of Washington, D.C., until an unexpected friendship with First Lady Eleanor Roosevelt and an even more unexpected connection with a silent fellow sniper offer the possibility of happiness. But when an old enemy from Mila's past joins forces with a deadly new foe lurking in the shadows, Lady Death finds herself battling her own demons and enemy bullets in the deadliest duel of her life. Based on a true story, The Diamond Eye is a haunting novel of heroism, born of desperation, of a mother who became a soldier, and of a woman who found her place in the world and changed the course of history forever. It sounds fascinating. We shall see. Next up would be The Rose Code by Kate Quinn. And I'll read you the flap. This one is dual timeline. 1940, as England prepares to fight the Nazis, 3 very different women answer the call to a mysterious country estate, Bletchley Park, where the best minds in Britain train to break German military codes. And the vivacious debutante Ulsa has everything: beauty, wealth, and the dashing Prince Philip of Greece sending her roses. But she burns to prove herself as more than a society girl, and puts her fluent German to use as a translator of decoded enemy secrets. Imperious, self-made Mab, a product of East End London poverty, works the legendary code-breaking machines as she conceals old wounds and looks for a socially advantageous husband. Both Ulsa and Mab are quick to see the potential in local village spinster Beth, whose shyness conceals a brilliant facility with puzzles, and soon Beth spreads her wings as one of the park's new female cryptologists. But war, loss, and the impossible pressure of secrecy will tear the 3 apart. 1947, as the royal wedding of Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip whips post-war Britain into a fervor, the 3 friends turned enemies are reunited by a mysterious encrypted letter, the key to which lies buried in the long-ago betrayal that destroyed their friendship and left one of them confined to an asylum. An enigmatic traitor has emerged from the shadows of their Bletchley Park past, and now Ulsa, Mab, and Beth must resurrect their old alliance and crack one last code together. But each petal they remove from the rose code brings danger and their true enemy closer. Okay, and last up from Kate Quinn would be the Alice Network. And this is set in 1947 and 1915. In the chaotic aftermath of World War II, American college girl Charlie St. Clair is pregnant, unmarried, and on the verge of being thrown out of her very proper family. She's also nursing a desperate hope that her beloved cousin Rose, who disappeared in the Nazi-occupied France during the war, might still be alive. So when Charlie's parents banish her to Europe to have her little problem taken care of, Charlie breaks free and heads to London, determined to find out what happened to the cousin she loves like a sister. 1915. A year into the Great War, Eve Gardner burns to join the fight against the Germans and unexpectedly gets her chance when she's recruited to work as a spy. Sent into enemy-occupied France, she's trained by the mesmerizing Lily, codename Alice, the Queen of Spies, who manages a vast network of secret agents right under the enemy's noses. 30 years later, haunted by the betrayal that ultimately tore apart the Alice Network, Eve spends her days drunk and secluded in her crumbling London house. That is, until a young American barges in, uttering a name Eve has not heard in decades, and launches both of them on a mission to find the truth, no matter where it leads. Okay, all three of these sound right up my alley, despite their World War II settings. Okay, this is The Green Valley from Mark Sullivan. I will read anything from Mark Sullivan after Beneath the Scarlet Sky, which I've already donated to my library, and I'll read you the back. On the run from one enemy at the mercy of another. In late March 1944, as Stalin forces push into Ukraine, young Emil and Adeline Martel must make a terrible decision. Do they wait for the Soviet Bear's intrusion and risk being sent to Siberia, or do they reluctantly follow the wolves? Murderous Nazi officers who have pledged to protect pure-blood Germans. The Martels are one of many families of German heritage whose ancestors have farmed in Ukraine for more than a century. But after already living under Stalin's horrifying regime, Emil and Adeline decide they must run and retreat from their land with the wolves they despise to escape the Soviets and go in search of freedom. Caught between two warring forces and overcoming horrific trials to pursue their dream of immigrating to the West, the Martels' story is a brutal, complex, and ultimately triumphant tale that illuminates the extraordinary power of love, faith, and one family's incredible will to survive and see their dreams realized. I know this is going to be beautiful. I don't even have any question about that. Okay. 4 more books. I've not read any of these. 2 of them are Goodreads wins. 1 is a library find, and another is Amazon, and I'll tell you why. So this is the library one. This is The Keeper of Happy Endings by Barbara Davis. And I will read you the back. Every story leaves an echo, especially the unfinished ones. Celine Rousseau is schooled in the business of happy endings. For generations, her family has kept an exclusive bridal salon in Paris, where magic is worked with needle and thread. It is said that the bride who wears a Rousseau gown is guaranteed a lifetime of joy. But devastating losses during World War II leave Celine's world and heart in ruins, and her faith in love shaken. She boxes up her memories, stowing them away, along with her broken dreams, determined to forget. Decades later, while coping with her own tragic loss, aspiring gallery owner Rory Grant leases Celine's old property and discovers a box containing letters and a vintage wedding dress, never worn. When Rory returns the mementos, an unlikely friendship develops. And eerie parallels in Rory's and Soline's lives begin to surface. It's clear they were destined to meet, and that Rory may hold the key to righting a 40-year-old wrong and opening the door to shared healing and perhaps a little magic. Yeah. I'm interested. I am very, very interested. So dual timeline, and the past definitely takes place during World War II. So, okay. This is the Amazon purchase. This is The Light Years by Elizabeth Jane Howard. And all of the subsequent books in this series, I believe there are 4 of them, went on sale on Kindle, except this one. And the physical copy was less expensive than buying the Kindle copy. And I prefer physical copies anyway. The other books were obviously, because they were on sale, less expensive on Kindle. So there you go. And this is a family saga. In 1937, the coming war is only a distant cloud on the horizon. As the various Cazalet households prepare for their summer pilgrimage to the family estate in Sussex, we meet bluff, hearty Edward, in love with, but by no means faithful to, his good wife, Lily. Hugh, wounded in the Great War, devoted to pregnant Sybil. Rupert, who worships the body, if not the mind, of his child bride Zoe. And Rachel, the spinster sister, conducting a desperate, clandestine love affair under the family roof. Yeah, it's just going to be a great family saga. It opens in 1937, and the last chapter takes place in... Okay, chapters are long. Chapters are very long. That's interesting. I have no idea when the last chapter takes place. Anyway, I'm interested. I need to know. Okay, the last 2 were library reads, or not library reads, Goodreads wins. And the first is The Paris Library by Jeanette Skeskelin Charles. And I will read you the back. I love the back cover of this book, by the way. I remember those library cards in the pockets so well. Sometimes quiet heroes are found in the quietest places. Based on the true World War II story of the heroic librarians of the American Library in Paris, this is an unforgettable story of romance, friendship, family, and the power of literature to bring us together. Paris, 1939. Young and ambitious Odile Chouchet has it all. Her handsome police officer Beau, and a dream job at the American Library in Paris. But when the Nazis march in to occupy Paris, Odile stands to lose everything she holds dear, including her beloved library. Together with her fellow librarians, Odile joins the resistance with the best weapon she has: books. But when the war finally ends, instead of freedom, she tastes the bitter sting of unspeakable betrayal. Montana, 1983. Lily is a lonely teenager looking for adventure in small-town Montana. Her interest is piqued by an air of mystery about her solitary, elderly neighbor. As Lily uncovers more about her neighbor's past, she finds that they share a love of language, the same longings, the same intense jealousy, never suspecting that a dark secret from the past connects them. Powerful novel that explores the consequences of our choices and the relationships that make us who we are: family, friends, and favorite authors. The Paris Library shows that the extraordinary heroism can sometimes be found in the quietest of places. And the last one on my list is The Librarians of Lisbon by Suzanne Nelson. And I'll read to the back. 1943. World War II rages across Europe. Lisbon stands alone as a glamorous city on the brink of chaos, harboring spies, trading double-edged secrets. Among them are Celine Delmont and Beatrice Sullivan, Boston librarians turned Allied operatives enlisted to collect banned books. Both women are undercover agents tasked with infiltrating the Axis spy network. Victory is not guaranteed. Soon they're caught up in games of deception with two of Lisbon's most notorious men, the outcast Portuguese baron Luca Calderia and a lethal spy codenamed Gable. As Celine charms her way through lavish ballrooms with Luca, the more bookish Bee is plunged into Gable's shadowy world of informants. But when a betrayal unravels a carefully spun web of lies, everything they fought for is thrown into jeopardy. Yeah. Okay. I found some books I need to read despite their World War II setting because they're all much more up my alley. So, okay. Do you have any World War II recommendations that don't focus on the Holocaust? If so, leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. And I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.